Hi, this is Lori Brown. I am doing this video for my prompt and prompt fading. So first of all, I did a video. This is kind of a scenario for, say, like a 7-year-old child with autism. And the first thing we did was to read a book. And what I did was I did a full prompt as far as I did hand over hand and took her hand and to help her to recognize each word in the book. So I helped her do that with a full physical prompt. And then each time it was lesser and lesser as far as prompting, holding onto her hand, and then lesser holding onto her hand, and then just tapping her elbow. And then finally just no prompt whatsoever. So that's how I faded the prompt out of that one. And the second activity we did was a math problem using touch points. However, on the index cards that I was using, the dots did not show up at all. So I'm going to show you what I used. The first one I used looked like this. I know it's probably backwards, but you can kind of get an idea of how big the dots were. So that's what I did for the first one. And then the second time she did the problem, it looked more like this. So I kind of faded some of those dots out. The answer was still a little bit more heavily prompted, but the dots on the problem itself were more faded out. And then the final time she did it, it was more no dots at all. So she just had to do it by memory and that's how I faded out the prompts using with the touch points kind of math. So that's what we did for our second problem. And then the third activity that we did was a Go Fish game. And what I did there was I used a positional prompt. And so I kept moving and this is what it looked like. The index card looked like this. And I'm sorry that you couldn't see the words when I was actually doing the video with her. I realized afterwards that you couldn't see anything that was on the index card. So this is what I did. And it just basically said, Lori, do you have and then whatever it is she wanted to ask me. And each time I would move the card further and further away from her to make it more positional. And then I turned the card upside down, and then finally the card was gone. So that's what I did for my first scenario with prompt fading. And the second one, I used my puppy, who is now 4 months old, and she's just doing fabulous. I'm having so much fun with her. It's amazing how you can use this principle of behavior analysis with animals as well as with people. So I've done things like backward chaining with her. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, so I'm sorry. I just love her to pieces. The first thing I did with her was she has a really hard time staying down when it's time to eat. So what I did with her is I took the bottom of her collar and just pulled down on it and told her down. And then the second time I just turned around and I said down. So that's I faded out my physical prompt of pulling down on her collar, and I just used the verbal. And then the last time I didn't do anything. So I totally faded out the prompt until she sat down to give her dinner. So, and she's a work in progress. We're getting there. The next activity we did was to have her sit and then lay. So it was kind of a chaining sequence of sitting and laying. There again, I used the full physical. I kind of pulled down on her collar to help her down. And then I was clear down to the ground. So I gave her as much help as I could. Got squatted down on the floor, pointed down to the ground, and then I just kept raising myself up further and further from the ground, and then pointing. But I still used the verbal because she's still learning the word along with the sign of the pointing down. So we're still working on her learning the word with the signs. And the last thing we did was having her sit next to me. So we're working on loose leash walking. So having her come around to my side and sit next to me, stopping when we take a walk, having her stop at streets. And so what I'm working on with her there is I did a full physical prompt, having her on the leash, bringing her all the way around and having her sit by my side. The next time I kind of walked her, and then just instead of bringing her all the way around, I just had her sit. And then the final time I did it, I took the leash off of her, walked with her a little bit, and then just made sure that she sat as soon as I stopped, which she did. So that's kind of how I faded those prompts out. So that was how I did my prompt and prompt fading video with my one of my coworkers as well, and then my 4-month-old puppy. So I'm looking forward to doing our next video and doing Skype on Tuesday with everybody, and hopefully I can figure it out. So I've really enjoyed this class. This has been phenomenal. It's been so much fun learning and transitioning the prompt and prompt fading with people and animals. So that's been great. So I appreciate the opportunities to do that. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye. Hi, Becca.
Hi.
play. Let's read a story first. Let's read our story here. Let's talk about the story.
Dot and the dog.
Nice job, Becca. Okay, you ready? Let's read. Let's touch all the words.
Dot had a bag.
Nice reading.
The bag had a tag.
Nice job, Becca.
Is the bag hot? The bag is hot.
Oh no, the bag is hot.
Dot had a dog. The dog is Mag. Mag got the bag. Dot got Mag.
Nice job. Last page.
Dot sat. Did Mag sit? Mag sat on the bag.
That was so good. I'm so proud of you. Have a goldfish. Nice job, Becca. We're going to do some math, okay? We're going to do one problem, 4 plus 3. So let's do our math.
4 plus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 plus 3 is 7.
Nice job with math. Good job. Okay, let's do our math.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 plus 3 is 7.
Nice job. That was awesome. One more time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 plus 3 equals 7.
Nice job, Becca. Wow, that was awesome. We're all done with math. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to play a game. Do you like goldfish?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's play goldfish. This is so much fun. I'm going to give you 5 cards, and I'm going to take 5 cards. All right, pick up your cards, Becca. I'm going to go first. Becca, do you have a 4?
I don't have a 4. Go fish.
Okay. Oh, I got a 4. I got to get 5 more. Your turn.
Lori, do you have a 7?
Nope, go fish. Okay, Becca, do you have a 9?
Go fish.
Thank you.
Lori, do you have a 3?
I do not have a 3. Go fish. Becca, do you have a 1?
I do.
Thank you.
Lori, do you have a 7?
I do have a 7. Yay! Becca, do you have a 9?
No, go fish.
Your turn.
Lori, do you have an 8?
I do not have an 8. Go fish. Becca, do you have a 9?
No, go fish.
Thank you. Your turn.
Lori, do you have a 1?
I do have a 1. I love the way you looked at me. Good job. That was awesome playing. Nice job, Becca. We're all done working today. Now we can go play. Yay! You want to eat? You want to eat? Down. Good girl. Down. Good girl. Let's go. Yes. Yes. There you go. Good girl. Oh, was it playing?
Yeah, I read.
Yes, good girl. That's a very good girl. Murphy, sit. Yes, come. Yes, big girl. Come on. Yeah, big girl. Okay, last time. You ready? Ready? Oops. Murphy, come. Yes, that's a good girl. That's a good girl. Mwah. Yes, it is.